Hello, ladies, gents, boys and girls, welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 and welcome back into the iniBuilds A340-300. We are sat here on the ground as Springbok 280. Real world service from Johannesburg over to Perth, Australia. It's a very isolated routing today. We leave South Africa easterly and then it's oceanic all the way for 9 hours, 10 minutes. All the way over to Perth. So it's going to be a long one and it's going to be a less than scenic one, but this is a very cool flight and we've got this stunning livery. I don't know what the livery is called, but it looks absolutely gorgeous on the South African Airlines livery. We are on VATSIM, so we'll see what sort of traffic and ATC we get. So let's jump into the flight deck and get everything set up for today's service. So, welcome into the iniBuilds A340-300 cockpit. Hopefully soon we should be in another A340, but the 600, hopefully that's not too far along. Let's do some fault and foreign APU fire tests. I'll get the fuel pumps on now. Pretty simple to get the 340 rocking and rolling. Right, let's go into the EFB and we're going to get an air conditioning unit because it is quite hot here. And we're using the IAS2s today, so we've got the newer displays, which is nice to see. And we'll jump into the FMC and GSX is beginning boarding. We'll go in reference and we'll plug ATIS in.
(270 and 340), CAV OK, temperature 22 degrees, dew point 15, QNH 1021 hectopascals, trend, no significant changes, confirm ATIS, Delta.
Right, so we've got information Delta.
OR Tambo International ATIS Delta 1900 Zulu, expect turn IEMC runway 03 right for arrivals. Runway 03 left for departures. Clearance delivery frequency 123 days.
And we'll go flight plan, and we are departing runway 03 left on the Exobi 1 Alpha. Insert that. That looks good to me. And we'll go over to the performance page.
Turn left to 170, Traffic 358. Sorry, Traffic 358, can you say that heading for me again?
Heading 170.
170, Traffic 358, sorry about that.
No worries.
So it's 9,000 is the stop altitude of the SIM. Get the APU bat on now. Forgot to turn that off. Yeah, everything looks good there. Next page. And we'll go into the airport and it's that one there. Looks like a pretty simple taxi down Alpha. That looks good. payload, and we'll import all from SimBrief, and we'll instant load the payload, instant load the fuel, and I'll add a couple of extra tons of fuel just in case. 74,000 pounds, or no, 74 tons. Sorry. Lovely. Right, performance page, and we are takeoff performance sync, and we're gonna do hacks off. Calculate.
115, cleared
It's
island
giving
runway
us
07.
toe gap, flaps 3, and we'll just confirm that takeoff data there. And that is pretty much everything set up in the 340. It's pretty simple, these Airbus aircraft are. So what we'll do is we'll wait for boarding to be complete, then we'll ask for clearance from Johannesburg radar. Right, it's such a shame, but ATC logged off, so we're on our own now, which is a bit of a pain in the backside, but oh well, we're going to get the APU on. Just before I requested clearance, he did a little call saying that he was logging off, so that's a shame. Didn't even get time to ask for clearance. What am I doing here? I'm closing the doors, that's what I'm doing. That was a loud thud. APU is indeed starting. Waiting for the APU to start, and then we can turn off the external power and go and get Pushback started. Beacon up. We get GSX involved. Press push and start. I already closed those. Oh well. We'll do standard pushback onto Echo. There was a guy on Unicom saying he was taxiing, but I think he's gone. So,
commencing push.
Starter switch to ignition start,
All
parking brake off.
clear. Start at will.
And we'll go engine number 1. We'll wait for 10% and 2, and then we'll throw number 2 in. And there's engine number 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, may we have your attention please for the safety demonstration. Even if you're a frequent flyer, we kindly ask that you watch and listen as we go over the important safety features of this aircraft. Your safety is our top priority. Please pay close attention to this important safety briefing. Fasten your seatbelt by inserting the metal tip into the buckle. To tighten, pull the strap. To release, lift the top of the buckle.
Right, engine number 1 and 2 starting nicely. We have to wait for both of them to start before we can start engine number 3 and 4. Right. We'll go and get our squawk mode Charlie on. Shall set the parking brake.
Waiting your confirmation
And we'll go for engine number 3. We'll confirm good engine start.
We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
And engine number 4 coming online shortly. There we go. Right, as you can see, this scenery is really nice. It's iniBuilds Johannesburg. I don't think we've ever been in the sim here. There's the bypass pin. It's a shame that this flight takes off at night, because you won't see any of it, but this scenery is gorgeous. Right, we've got 4 good engines, overhead panel, AP bleed, master aft, taxi arm, and flap 3. There's the taxi light. Sorry, I couldn't see quite what it was up there. We're going to get the light dim as well. We don't need it on max. We go flight controls. What have I done? There you go. That's what I've done. And we need trim of up 4.9, which we've got there. Let's do flight control check. Full right. Neutral. Left. Neutral. Full forward. Back. And for the rudders, we'll go full left and full right. All flight controls are free and correct. This aeroplane is ready to go to Perth. Parking brake released. Takeoff config checked. And we'll add a little bit of thrust and have a slow taxi down to runway 03 left here at Johannesburg. Right, we are here. Hold short point of 03 left. There is absolutely no one on final approach, and there is no one at the airport. It is solely us. So it's time for takeoff. 03 left, Exobi 1 Alpha departure. Initial climb of 9,000 feet. QNH is 1021. We've got takeoff clearance. ECAM no blue. It's going to be a Mantoga departure. Right, we are ready. Packs are off as well, by the way. Come on. This aeroplane needs so much. I know we're really heavy, but it needs so much thrust to get going. and then to sustain that speed you need to continue to add thrust or keep thrusting, otherwise it starts to slow down on its own, even on a downhill segment that we had a second ago. Right, lined up, we shall go chrono. Forward pressure. Stable. Mantoga SRS, runway nav, auto thrust blue. Thrust is set. Speed's alive. Maintaining centre line, a little bit of right rudder, not too much. Going to be a very long takeoff roll. It's always a long takeoff roll in the 340-300.
V1.
There's V1. And rotate. Slowly bring the nose up. We're airborne, positive rate gear up. We have nav. Goodbye Johannesburg. See you later South Africa. And we've got gear up, no lights. And on to flight directors. Thrust, climb. Pack 1 on. Disarm the speed brake. Pitch down. And I forgot to put the TCAS on. Flat position 1. Right hand turn now. Pack 2 on. And this is an absolute dog in the sky to climb. We will just about make that 9,000 foot restriction. Bit lazy on that turn from me there, and we'll go speed check, flaps clean. After takeoff checklist complete, we'll go autopilot 1 on and enjoy the full views of South Africa. We don't have long left of land views before it's open ocean all the way to Perth, Australia. Go to what's our flight level? Initial cruise is 35. Pull, and we'll go turn off the taxi light off as well now, and climb slowly we shall. Do really like the wing on the 340 though, really nice. Standard barometric pressure. We haven't made that 9,000 foot restriction, just about. We could see how this would be a problem if there was a mandatory altitude restriction you needed to meet. You're really heavy. It's gonna struggle. Right, camera crew can be released. Lights off. And that is us on our way to Perth. I'm going to leave you with some climb and cruise highlights. I'll release the passengers shortly, and I'll jump back in around 8 hours 45 minutes for our descent into Perth. Hello and welcome back into the sim. We are now descending onto the ILS Zulu runway 21 into Perth on the arrival. We have no ATC, and actually the time of day is in Australia at the moment. There's going to be no one flying with us, so we're going to be landing on our own, which is a shame, but that's because this flight takes off at a strange time anyway. But at least it's daylight, so we'll be able to see the gorgeous scenery below. We're just about to jump back onto profile. We're descending down to 9,000 initially, and then on to 2,500 feet. The FMC is plugged and ready to go for the approach phase. And just checking the weather on my sim brief dispatch. And it's probably going to get a little bit bumpy in a minute. There's some turbulence in the area, which is absolutely fine. But the iniBuilds A350 has handled the flight expertly, or not A350, A340, sorry, has handled the flight very nice. Not a lot of problems today. It's been a pretty straightforward A to B service, which is what we like to see. Right, coming up on 9,000, we'll go step down to 3,000 initially. Look at that. It's really nice to see 2 engines on a wing, isn't it? Can't wait for the 747 from PMDG. Especially the 400. That's going to be an absolute fantastic purchase for myself. I'm very much looking forward to flying the 7.4. Never flown a 7.4 in any sim. Well, not a high fidelity one anyway. I think I've flown the freeware 7.4 a couple of times, maybe twice, desperately. But apart from that, this is the only 4-engine aeroplane and the 340-600 I've been able to get my hands on. Hopefully soon, like I mentioned, the 340-600 will come out. It'd be nice to do some realistic Lufthansa ops with the 340-600 and some old retro Virgin Atlantic operations, and also to do some European air cargo into Bournemouth. That'll be fun. Right, descending nicely now. 1500 feet per minute. Enjoy another wing view as the coastline comes into view. So just double check the VATScope map, and there is no one near us. But there's a Emirates A380 about 125 nautical miles to the north of us. So that shows you the nearest aeroplane. I did cross paths with someone doing the opposite flight though. They were in a 787 though, Qantas 787, doing the opposite. They flew, 3,000 feet above, opposite direction, literally straight overhead, which was quite cool to see. Apart from that, that's the only traffic we've seen all day. It's a bit of a shame. I do usually like to do these videos with some high level of traffic or ATC, but sadly today we have none. But like I mentioned, it's because the time zones in the countries we're flying to. I mean, I'm in the UK and we're flying from South Africa to Australia, so it's not going to match up, is it? Right, the aeroplane, I did notice when I did the arrival and approach for Perth, it didn't draw it correctly, so the waypoint H is not overfly, it's cut the corner, which you'll see. So we'll watch that. We just might have to configure slightly early because it brings us in on quite a short final. See, instead of going to H, it cuts the corner quite significantly. Perth. Downtown Perth is over here. There's the skyscrapers. Always wanted to visit Australia. I will eventually, I'll have to, but always looks gorgeous when we're coming in. Here is the turbulence that we're expecting. It should have started earlier actually. It was meant to be turbulent from top of descent all the way to final approach. So we'll see if it gets any worse. I mean, Microsoft Flight Simulator is not the best at drawing in turbulence, so I might have to look into investing in real cat turb. Seen a couple of people use it, and it looks well worth it. It just injects real turbulence in, like going through clouds and stuff, a little bit more realistically than Microsoft Flight Simulator does. That is one thing that Microsoft Flight Simulator doesn't do well, ejecting the turbulence, especially when going through clouds, like I mentioned. In real life, when you go through clouds, there's always the odd bump or jolt or just vibration as you sort of break through them, but in Microsoft Flight Simulator there's none of that. I mean, you can fly straight through a storm cloud and not have a single bump. Right, performance. I'm going to activate the approach phase and we'll go 135 knots for a final approach. I'll add a couple of extra knots. I'd just like to keep that nose slightly down. And we'll go flat 1, which is just leading edge slats on the 340. There we go. That's looking good. See, there you go, so it's cutting the corner, so we'll slow it right down for that turn. It wants us Hadji by 185 knots, so slow it down. Might have to get some speed brake out because it's actually quite gusty. The speed's not stable at all. So here comes the lever of shame. It doesn't half make a racket, doesn't it? Right, flat 2. Speed check. Arm the speed brake. And it is getting slightly worse turbulence-wise.
2,500.
There's 2,500. We are 185 knots now as the thrust comes up. And all I can really see is fields and woodland. So it has cut the corner quite aggressively here. Let me get comfy in my seat, ready to take control in a minute. And we'll get the lights on now. Cabin secure. Right, approach mode, second autopilot. We've got, hopefully, there's Lokestar glide slope, 3,000 feet set for the go around, and we are quite close now. It brought us, sorry, on a very short final, so we're going to gear down, flat 3 straight away. And full flaps. Landing checklist complete. We are fully stable and ready for landing. Lights are on. Speed brakes on. Flaps are full. Approach mode's on. There's the runway right there. 2-1. So I've written down that we need to exit by Charlie 9. So, and I'll add a couple of extra knots on because it is quite gusty the wind. So go 137 knots. And we've got plenty of reserve fuel to get to our alternate. So thrust is coming up. And and it is getting bumpy, so we'll take control. And it's starting to turn, so we'll just give it a bit of a snap left. My aeroplane.
1,000.
Checked. 1,000 feet. Stabilisation criteria has been met. We're clear to continue. One more check of VATScope radar, and there is absolutely no one about. So we are free to do what we please. Following that glide slope. Winds are battering us slightly. Doesn't help that we're in a plane that turns like an ocean liner. It's the only problem with these heavy Airbuses, the 340-300, 330, all the same sort of flight model, really heavy to turn, which is a nice feeling, nice sensation, but when it's gusty, it makes it difficult to track that centre line. So
300.
seems to have calmed itself down a little bit though now.
200. Minimum.
Bit of a snap left, corrected. To the right now.
100. 70. 60. 50. 40. 30. 20 yards.
Close thrust levers, hold it there. A little bit of left rudder coming in. Down we are. Speed brakes up. Reverses are green. Decelerating. And look how quickly we've slowed down. That headwind has brought us to a crawl already. I mean, Charlie 9 was all the way down the end of the runway. I think we're going to make this exit. I don't even know what this exit is. Yeah, we're definitely going to make it. Look at that. Wow. Down we are. In Perth, Australia. Speed brakes stowed. Taxi on out here. And I've written down 153 for our stand. That's the one where the real aeroplane parked today. Or yesterday, sorry. A pretty good landing actually in the 340. A bit windy coming in, but nothing we couldn't handle. Turn off. Taxi light on. Landing lights off. So we'll select from map. And there it is. 153. Heavy stand. No. And we'll go Swissport International. And what's that over there? Is that a pink building or... Oh no, I thought it hadn't loaded in correctly, but that's just scaffolding with some logos on. It's clearly like a multi-storey car park that's been built. This scenery is by Orbex. Orbex, Perth, Australia. So it's a nice scenery. And TCAS is standby. Yeah, very enjoyable flight, the 340-300. Looking forward to the 600, sorry. Coming out, like I mentioned, hopefully soon. I watched the preview stream, the Tolis Aerosoft, Tolisoft someone called it, which I found quite funny. But their rendition of the A340-600 is coming out soon. Watch the preview stream. Looked really good. A few things I didn't like about the modelling, like the leading edge slats don't look anything like the real plane. I don't know, they're just... If you just look at a picture, someone post it in the Discord, and once you see it, you can't not see it. Apart from that, though, the aeroplane looks really good. Cockpit looks nice. Systems look brilliant, and it reminds me a lot of the old Tolis days. I'm well tuned to how Tolis operate their aeroplanes, so it should be easy for me to just jump back in. And I suppose that if you're new, it might be a little bit different. But it's easy to get your head around. Right, taxi light can come off now, so we're entering a ramp area. But I am looking forward to seeing what Tolis can bring into Microsoft Flight Simulator. I hope he doesn't leave X-Plane though. I hope this isn't sort of an abandoned ship moment for Tolis. but it'd be really good to get his products in the hands of Box Off Flight Simulator customers. And I think it is it coming to Xbox? I think it's coming to Xbox, so that'd be really good. You can have a high quality Airbus on Xbox now. Well, there's our stand there, 153. Right, so I'll follow it round left. And here is 153. So give it full right now. Lees up a little bit. And we shall... I think I've got a GSX profile for this airport, so I'll follow the guidance given. It can't be that wrong. We look pretty bang on at the moment, so I will take it as gospel. Right. There we go. Oh, a bit over the marker. Wasn't paying attention. Parking brakes set. I'll go engine 1, 2 dead. APU is on. 3, 4 dead. Welcome down to Perth, Australia. So guys, welcome down to Perth, Australia. I mean, look at that livery in daylight. Gorgeous. First time flying South African Airways. First time in the Springbok call sign. And it was an absolute pleasure. Johannesburg, lovely scenery. Shame it was dark when we took off. But we arrived into a very hot, very pretty Perth, Australia. Flight time was actually 9 hours 7 minutes roughly from block to block, so we were a couple of minutes early, which was nice. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please consider liking and subscribing. We are very close to 2,000 subscribers, and I'll see you all very soon in another video.